Alright, Deepwoken's guns. Guns in Deepwoken have always been a polarizing topic of discussion. Some people hate them, some people love them, but you need to realize it's very difficult to set up a weapon so different from everything else in a game based around close combat. But personally, I believe the devs are doing their best to balance out this subclass and actually integrate more firearms. As you can see, the Layer 2 sneak peek showed off some more guns, so look out for that. Recently, there have been some reworks for guns that people aren't certain about. A few weeks ago, people claimed guns were the best thing in the game, and before that, I felt like they were weak. But let's do some investigation on these changes and break down the numbers. Before we start, make sure you check out my last video on the Deepwoken Lightborn tournament. There's some exclusive footage of my fights and a few more bonus clips, so don't miss out. One more thing, let's do a fun bonus game to test your summer company knowledge. Gunsmith Rosen, he designed the guns and brought them out of the depths, but can you guess which one he is? I'm gonna give you guys 3 options to choose from, and you have to guess which one Gunsmith Rosen is. Number 1, an unhappy looking Etrian currently smithing on some guns. Number 2, an out-of-place looking flower, perhaps even a rose. Or number 3, the outcast of Summer Isle who teaches you a certain gun talent. Now be careful, if you guess incorrectly, a vow of mastery will be made and your first command will be to subscribe. So, let's see. If you picked any of those options, you have been fooled. All 3 of those options are incorrect. Gunsmith Rosen is not actually in the game, and the closest we get to meeting him is through the drunk Yamaketzel at Songseeker Isle. He gives us a little imitation, it's more of a joke. But remember, don't trust what you see. After all, Deepwoken's magic always comes from the song. Anyway, back on track, Gunsmith Rosen's guns have received some pretty impactful changes, and I don't know what to make out of them. The first large change was the removal of the ether cost on M1. Now, you can basically shoot without limit, and I think it's an interesting choice to make. In the past, the only way to negate the ether cost was through the use of bullets, but now gun builds can save a ton of stat points and don't have to worry about ether. This could be a good thing, but what's stopping people from playing at range? Anyway, with this new update, bullets change up your playstyle greatly with their new and improved attributes. If you have a bullet, you will now shoot a straight flying projectile that gives 20% more pen and changes up how guns are played entirely. Something funny, the aerial shot also shoots a straight shot, which makes no sense, but I think it's cool. And the bullets don't seem to activate any enchants and don't get used up unless you hit with the gun's blast, not the projectile. You're probably thinking, damn, this is broken, now they can just run, but it's a little bit different. To accommodate the new gun range, the windup on guns is extremely awkward and it's very hard to hit anything if you're lagging. It's funny to think, but this change, as well as projectiles, makes players want to run even more because their spacing is much more important. Basically, if you're playing guns, you never want to be in a parry trade because you'll always be at the disadvantage. Just to see the comparison with damage, the projectile bullet does around 2 to 3% damage in comparison to the 5% damage of the original blast. They say it gives 20% more pen, but I don't really see this. But right now, it's vital to have bullets now if you want to play effectively. I think it's very cool they went this route, and maybe they'll implement the special bullet concept I brought up a while ago, but I think guns will change in the future because Layer 2 is always hyping up rifles and guns and whatever, right? So I have no idea what will change. Speaking of Layer 2, on a flourish, gun users are stunned more to prevent M1 spam, but I think it's going to be weird with the Layer 2 kick mechanic. I think dual guns will actually be underpowered with this new kick, and if that's the only thing I get, they might honestly be weak. At the end of the day, that's all there is for guns. I'm a gun enthusiast, but I would not be surprised if the majority of gun players ditch them for something else. Now, they're very awkward to use, and you need a patient playstyle to make them viable. Let me know down below your thoughts on these new gun changes. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one!